Rexar versus Morgul!
Let the hunt begin. Get in there and fight, maggot! It's getting hot in here! Sever my wrath! Job's done.
The end is coming!
Toasty! Sever my wrath! I hunt alone.
Don't worry, loves. The cavalry's here.
Giddy up!
Toasty! Sever my wrath! It's getting hot in here!
Giddy up!
Toasty! Sever my wrath! Get in there and fight, maggot! I hunt
Giddy
alone.
up!
Toasty! Sever my wrath! I hunt alone. Well played.
Rexar versus Thrall!
For Doomhammer, let the hunt begin.
Job's done.
What to do?
The light protects me.
It's getting hot in here!
Job's done.
I wonder. I wonder. To my side! Charge rule! Get in there and fight, maggot!
Hello my friends, and welcome back to the Scott Reed Project. And today's video is all about this noble beast, the pig. Today I am going to show you how to butcher a pig. Two reasons I'm doing this video. Some of you may or may not have seen my original how to butcher a pig video. It's very popular on YouTube. A lot of people have used it successfully to cut up their own pigs at home. It's had 1.8 million views, but I never had a high-def camera, I never had the lighting rigs, and where I cut it up wasn't exactly ideal conditions to show you the whole process. And reason two is a friend of mine on Facebook shared a great clip from the late, great Jack Hargreaves. A lot of you in the UK will remember that name and his fantastic programmes, Out of Town and Old Country. And this clip comprised of a butcher that was filmed in about 81, 82, cutting up a pig. And it is just absolutely amazing footage. And typical Jack Hargreaves, you know, he tells a tale, tells a story. I was mesmerised, and I will put the link for that video down there. So I thought, what a great way to redo my video. Two reasons. It will show you how you differ, which is not a lot in what, 30, 35 years from cutting a pig like they used to way back when. And also, it's going to be in high def. how lucky are you to see my ugly mug? Anyway, that's enough of jiving. Let's get the pig on the block and let's rock. Let's do this. Okay then, onto the pig. Now what I've got in front of me here is half an orchard pig. Let's have a look at it. In all fairness, to be quite honest with you, I think it's a little bit too lean for my taste, but unfortunately in these times this is what a consumer likes. You get some of those old-fashioned breeds, those rare breeds. They're a little bit fattier, but fat equals flavour, but you cannot sway by the public. Saying that though, what we have got in the scheme of things is fantastic. Orchard pig is a stunner. An orchard pig is a pig that was fed on the remnants of the meat. So what's not to like that? So for all you home butchers and butchers alike, when you have your pig taken to the slaughterhouse, ask them to split it in half for you and leave the head whole. It's so much more easier and manageable to cut it up, and I can show you far more easier ways to take the primals off if we've got half then struggling with a big old carcass. Right then, so first thing we want to do then is take off its head. So I will fling this around. Come here, my beauty. And off with its head. So just through that neck bone. There we have it. Beautiful. The head, as you may know, I've done some fantastic dishes with the head, the brawn, and that stuffed pig that I did was unreal. Right, next we're going to take off the shoulders, or the fore ends, or the cross cut. And if you see where its arm is, there's a dip. Now I'm just aiming my knife for the middle, just going straight across. Now, you really need a butcher's saw. If you haven't got one, get a hacksaw with a clean blade, because we're not going to be sawing loads of cuts. So it's a case of straight through, and that gives us our lovely shoulders, just nipping the blade bone. They say 4 bones on the shoulder, but if you always aim for the middle of that cut, you're going to hit it straight away. There's the shoulders. Next we will separate the legs from the loin. Several ways we can do this. You can cut it short by going straight across the leg, or cut it long. But for you people at home, and if you're learning to butcher a pig, I favour the easy way. Is if you see the H bone, the hip bone, the tailbone, as it comes up, there's a join. I go to the next one. I'm just marking it there for you guys. Then I'm going to turn it round. As you can see, I've marked it. So we'll cut through it.
Rexa versus
Through.
Jaina.
And there we have
You
our
asked
legs
for
on.
it.
Let the hunt
Perfect.
begin.
So legs, middle, shoulder. There's our primals. Let's get these broken down. So okay then, on to the actual art of the butcher. Now what we are going to be doing is butchering this as we would in a shop, or as you guys would want to at home. Nothing fancy, just basic. We've got it in primals. We are going to break it down into joints, chops, steaks, and so on and so forth. And the first primal we are going to attack is the middle, or the loin that has the belly attached. So we move that out the way. Now any trim we will save and make a trim pile we can sort through after. Trim for sausages, or if they're big enough we'll get some diced pork off. So first thing we're going to do is trim that skirt off there, and then just always with the tip of your knife, decent grip. Some of this fat is beloved by the charcutier. This flare fat is absolutely amazing, especially when you make it large. You can actually get your hand in there, if you can see, and just strip it away. And that
The
is a great
end
product.
is coming!
Next, we concentrate on the tenderloin, the fillet. I've left the other half in the leg because I want to roll it in. But basically all we're doing is tie it up against
Don't
the
worry,
bone.
loves. The cavalry's
See,
here.
let me get a picture for you. And then just follow it.
Maggot!
There is a natural seam.
Giddy up!
Cannot go wrong. And there we have our tenderloin, which we can tie in after. Next then, we want to separate the loin from the belly. So if you look at the eye of the chop, I'm going to make a mark there and basically come tight in and about the same size on the eye the other end. Then get my saw in and then nicely, cleanly with a sharp knife, just straight through.
Giddy up!
Separate and the belly. We should come back to the loin and get our chops off that. And with our belly, what I like to do, a fantastic roasted joint, one of my favourites, or in slices. I absolutely love this stuff. Just take that bone out. I like to just square off, and that will go in my sausage pile. Makes fantastic sausage, belly meat. And again, with this raggedy end, take that off. That's the belly and the loin. So with our loin then, as you can see where the rib ends, I am just going to cut straight down, and then
Giddy up!
with my trusty old chopper, this might take the camera. Through. What I want to do, I want to get some nice pork steaks. So just tight up against the bone. Now if you're doing this at home, please do not worry. It doesn't have to be clinical. You know, as long as you're up to the bone there enough, don't worry about leaving a little bit of meat on the bone, you know.
By the power!
You can always trim it after, so don't beat yourself up.
We have the power!
It's a shark. Not professional. Then I'm just going to skin just my chop, my steak, sorry, my knife under that, between the skin and the fat. Same principle as filleting or skinning a fish, just like that, and then we are left just go through. We've got some lovely pork loin, boneless steaks. Let's have a look at that. As always, being a butcher, squaring it off, facing it up. There we have the pork steaks. Next, we will cut our chops. I love doing this. So, in between each bone, all the way through,
Get in there and fight, maggot!
you will get nice, even-sized chops. And then one on the end. And then we might get a bit of camera shake here, guys. So just start chopping through them. Still got it, still got me aim, and that is the name of the game. So there's our chops then.
I bring
What I like to
life.
do is tidy them up, just nip corner bone off. So we'll just deal with that belly. Like I said, one of my favourite cuts. You could, if you wanted to, sheet those out. You have your spare ribs. But this is a fantastic roasting joint. And I think the first 6 ribs, which goes to there, is a great roasting joint. So we've marked it. Pick up your line.
Bring it on!
And that, we score it to make it crackle, is absolutely stunning roasted on the bone, and it does take some beating, really does. There's that. Then what we got left is we will put into slices. Now I love this slow roasted in the oven, and I eat it, believe it or not, with just bread and butter and brown sauce. I know how to live, baby. What we're doing then, pick the thickness you guys would like. Just straight through. As you can see, I mean, this is perfect pork, but like I said, I'd have liked a little bit more fat, but that's all I'm going to do. There, we are left with our 2 ends. If you wanted to, put them in your sausage. There is your belly pork slices and that great belly pork joint. Let's have a look at that.
Toasty!
Next then, the leg. What I want to do is just take that trotter off, as you can see there. Just your knife in. Saw through.
Job done.
Great if you're making prawns or head cheeses or any stew. Put it in and enrich it. Also natural gelatin. Brilliant. Right, so I'm just going to straight bone this leg. So I'm trimming up any bits I don't need. That can go in my pile. I'm going to take that off the hip bone, the H bone. Get into my pile and then trim those vessels, that blood meat. Again, don't panic, try this at home, don't be too fussy, just have a go. But like I said, a lot of people have watched that original video and the response has been amazing. People are having a go. I couldn't ask for more, and that's all you've got to do is have a go and don't worry yourself about it. So, just the tip of that knife again, start the hip bone.
Mind if I roll need?
Just trace it round. There you can see the end of that tenderloin. I know people out there going, Rory, have you left that on? It's just the way I do it, baby.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
You find the ball joint. I'll get this on camera for you in a minute. As you can see in there, ball joint. Quite an odd shaped bone. Again, just take your time. If you're always touching bone, with just the tip of your knife, you're not going to go very far wrong. So,
You love my new
tailbone. You can trim that up later. Okay, I like to put my hock in the leg. You don't have to if you don't want to. You can actually take this off the sausage meat, but find that natural join. And you can see it shows you the bone. It's hard to get my hands on, guys and gals, but I can do it. And that is your hock or shank bone out, split it down. Next we want to take out the femur. There is a knuckle bone here. If I can show you on there, all I'm doing is either side.
I hunt alone.
You can get your thumb underneath. You can see that's coming away. Just gently, again, tip of your knife. Just ease it out. Tunnel boning then. Tunnel boning means exactly that. We make a tunnel along the bone.
Greetings,
again,
traveler.
just with the tip of your knife. Taking your time. Start the one end.
I wonder.
Start the other end. And if you can see the grip I've got on my knife, it's almost a stabby silly. We're only using the tip. I know it looks like I'm going all the way in, but I'm sure you're not. You can see the bone starting to appear. You can actually push it with your one hand.
I hunt alone.
And then it comes out. So that leg now is completely boneless. Like I said, I normally roll my shank, but I will show you. You can take it off now if you want. Put it in sausage. Skin up. Again, bits of skin. Make yourself some pork scratchings or crackling. And that, there's just a bit we need to get out in here. Take the rest of that bone, and that leg is ready to roll and cut into joints. So first we need to score it again.
Astounding.
So you can see I've scored that all over. Now when I was training, when we were rolling legs and shoulders, they used to get you to put skewers in and skewer it all up. And if the pork wasn't set properly, it would be all over the shop. But you don't need to do it. Just take your time. A couple of strings in. What I like to do is work from the shank end, put one in, leave a space, because we will be going in between these, and just gently work your way along. I think I've said it many times before, but if you want to learn how to do this,
Gul'dan.
Your soul shall be mine. Let the hunt begin.
Look at my dick. What happened?
This is a heterosexual top 40 song, and then all of a sudden look at my dick.
What happened? I apologize. That just popped out. No pun intended, you fucks. You filthy animals. He's back from Italy, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm back from the south of France.
Wow, man, we both went to Europe. Are we
Very
cultured?
Very cultured.
Did you drink wine over there?
Of course I did.
Did you contact the sommelier and then just let him know how much you know?
No, I didn't need to because I was with a very rich friend. So I just threw a dart in the cellar and I took out insanely good wines. And
he's one of those guys?
Oh, forget it. I was like, and I was saying shit like this. I was like, oh, I smell nutmeg and pencil. Because that's what I've heard people say.
Did they get mad at you?
Yeah, of course they get mad at me. And then I sipped some white wine and I went, whoa, I feel like I just got hit in the head with by a farmer. I love saying dumb shit like that. Dude, try
Have you
this.
ever been to a wine tasting?
Of course.
Like one of those like parties where they all get around and they all talk about it?
You know what I heard sommelier say? He goes, you trust me on this wine. I said, why? Because I was going to order a white wine. It's unique. I said, well, describe it. He goes, it's like biting into a wet dog. I was like, hey, that's exactly what I feel like. see a wet dog.
It's good?
Yeah. It's like biting into a wet dog. People just say dumb shit.
I mean, I like wine. It tastes good. I like that.
Yeah.
But there's a part of me reject the nonsense so hard that I won't learn anything.
As well it should. You should always reject that horseshit.
But it's so fucking pretentious.
Of course it's pretentious.
It's like the most pretentious.
I mean,
right?
you hear the way they describe it. It really holds your palate prisoner. It holds your palate prisoner, but here's the good news. In a velvet casing.
Speaking of velvet casing, I was at a restaurant once, a very fine Italian restaurant, and a gentleman walked in with a briefcase with 2 bottles of wine in velvet in the briefcase. I had to resist the chimpanzee urge to leap over the table and smash him in his fucking head with that case.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing about that. Here's the reason I support him. Because I'm such a freak for wine. You cannot send a $1,000 bottle of wine. You can't ship it because a lot of times they put it in the hull of a ship, and it comes through, say, the Suez Canal.
It gets hot.
It might be 150 degrees in that hull.
Not good.
And it's below it or above the water line. You're in trouble. So they fly that wine. Yeah, you fly it.
So this guy, he just was bringing it to a restaurant. It's kind of a weird move when you bring your own to a restaurant. I mean, I guess it's a drink, but it's not like you bring your own tomatoes. Excuse me, could you tell the chef to chop these tomatoes?
Yeah.
Parallel with the floor.
I've never brought my own wine. It's obnoxious. To the establishment.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
It is weird. And then they have a corkage fee. They charge you to open your wine.
Yeah, $35.
That's very reasonable.
Well, especially if you're bringing a $1,000 bottle of wine.
Yeah. But I don't understand why one wine. I do understand, but I don't understand why someone is willing to pay. But I do understand it. I do, because you want to be a part of that fuckhead club.
Well, if you're a freak like me and you like wine on that level, when you really pay attention, for me, I don't even know how to describe it. It's literally an experience, right? I tell you, so my has made more money than God, and this is why he's worth.
Has all the money.
You know what I mean.
No.
He has as much money as Bruce Springsteen, almost.
Really?
And probably. And he super rich. And I told you that he said we're going to open this wine that Robert Parker gave 100 out of 100 and called it one of the wines of the century.
Who's Robert Parker?
Robert Parker is the critic who sets the standard. There are a lot of other critics.
I hate that you know that.
Yeah, I know. I'm terrible.
Really bothers me.
I know. But when you see an RP, Robert Parker, and it has a 93, 94, 95, you're paying a lot of money.
I want to hang out with Robert Parker.
Well, he's a guy, and I think he's from Maryland, and he's an American dude, and he's got his taste. It doesn't mean he's right. It just means he knows wine, and he says. Now there are more people, but for the most part, when Robert Parker gives your wine a 95 or above...
There he is. Look at him. God, I want to hit him with a brick. Look at him.
Hey, yeah.
Oh, my God. Do you think he says things when you go to dinner with him?
Well, he'll say, for example, the wine I was drinking, he called it a Centurion wine, one of the wines of the century.
Oh, God.
So please don't try to buy it, because, you can't find it.
Is he the Tony of wine connoisseurs?
Yes, he is.
Because nobody knows anyone that skates other than Tony Hawk.
That's exactly who he is. That's exactly who he is.
Like the Lance Armstrong of wine.
Yes, and there are people who are trying to make their way, and real critics, but for the most part, man.
How much does that piss people off who ride bikes, who are really good, and no one gives a fuck about them?
There's one guy who won.
There was Greg LeMond for a while. He was also an American. We remember him. But nobody
I think part of it's also because he was an American and so dumb. Yeah. And it's not, Americans don't watch bike racing. I could never stand on the sideline and be like, 100 more miles!
Keep pedaling.
100 miles, keep pedaling. Here's water. Want an orange? I'm not that guy. Life is too short to watch a fucking bike race.
It's definitely too short to be watching on the sidelines, waiting.
That's how I feel about marathons. But Europeans are so different than us. Europeans obsess over Formula One. They obsess over...
That's different, though.
Yeah.
Formula One is fucking wild.
Yeah, it's wild.
You ever seen those videos they do from inside the cockpit of a Formula One car?
Yeah.
Whoa!
It's crazy.
There's some lightning fast decision-making going on there.
But when Senna died, if you look at the streets of Brazil for his funeral, it was something that you would never see in the United States. If a great race car driver, like say a great NASCAR driver, you wouldn't see, I think it was some crazy number of people that showed up in the streets of Brazil.
Well, the Brazilians are insanely nationalistic.
Yeah.
They love their country. They're very, very patriotic. So when someone comes along like Senna, who dominates something that's traditionally a European dominated sport like Formula One, and he was a wild man.
Yeah.
You ever see that documentary on him?
I didn't. There, look at that funeral. And he was, he was the guy who could have been a playboy, but he never really messed with girls. He was a samurai.
He was dedicated.
Yeah.
Well,
like
his ability to shave milliseconds, and just to take crazy chances and cut people off, and
yeah,
geez,
that precision. But that is something that I don't know anything about it. Millimeters, those are what make everything.
Yeah.
When you have a cultivated sense, when you know what you're looking at and what looking for, it must be very enjoyable.
Well, they have a deep connection